Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Sheepdog74 and let's get on into this one then. So yeah, like I said in probably the video that you're going to have seen before this, if you haven't, then it's the 60 sub special. Well, 50 subs, but I've got 64 now, so basically a 60 sub special. But as I said in that video, I'm recording before I've actually done that video, but this one will be posted after that. So we're doing it in that time order. Yeah, it's been a while, almost 2 months. If I forgot to say in that video, I do now have a PS5. The PS5 we got, if you're wondering how we got one, because obviously they're still incredibly rare, we got one through the bundles because they're not as desirable to the scammers which like sell them on, because you can't sell the PS5 separately when they're in a bundle. So I got the disc PS5, a PS5 controller that was in white, PS5 controller that was in black, and I got Horizon Forbidden West, but I already bought that game anyway. But it's nice to have an extra copy, I guess. I don't know. So it also means I've upgraded my version of Gran Turismo to PS5. So if you notice better looking videos and the audio quality being different, that's because of the PS5, because it is so less noisy than the PS4 Pro. It's unbelievable, and I'm incredibly happy with the PS5 so far. Incredibly quick load times, games looking better, being able to respond a lot quicker. There's some added features with the PS5. It's been brilliant. So yeah, that's been really good. I'm doing videos again, and hopefully I'll be doing some more videos in more recent times because, as I may have said in the video before this, the 60 sub special, I've now finished my college course for this year, so I won't be back until September, but I've done all the work for it, so I'm off. I don't have to go to college, and so that means I've got a lot of free time, and I'm gonna try and do some more videos on this channel and really try and grow in this time for the channel. If we hit 100, well, it's a very, very ambitious goal, but if we did hit, I don't know, 75, 100 even before September, if I just keep making lots of videos, then that'll be brilliant. And I think that's all I wanted to cover in the opening here, but oh, and of course I said before my break that I wanted to do a 3 videos in a row. I did 2 of them, and then I did do the race that night. However, it didn't go as planned. I did score the most points that I had in any championship that I've done in the last season, the manufacturer's test season 2, and that was because, as you can see now by my driver rating, I'm up to driver rating B there. I didn't actually realize that they added a bar now, so that's a good change. I haven't really been playing a lot of Gran Turismo 7, to be fair, so I wasn't completely sure in any differences that perhaps there's been, but yeah, as you can see, driver rating B now. So I was driver rating B on that weekend, or that race, because I was doing, I think it was the Mazda GR4 around Spain. I grinded out some of them races, and that allowed me to promote myself to B rating. So I scored the most points there. However, I had a really, really bad time. I couldn't get a qualifying lap in until the very final lap. And I think I got second, or was it fourth? I can't remember. Fairly high up, actually, to be fair, but not yeah, the race didn't go well. Through the Ascari chicane, I was on the racing hards. I was doing a no stop. Um, the car just let go each time, and I lost lap time. Even at the start of the race, and through the middle and through the end, through that chicane, it was horrendous. I had to keep the car on the circuit as best as I could. So I don't really know what happened there, but anyway, nonetheless, long opening, but we're here because it's an official season now for the GT World Series Manufacturers Cup. So as you can see by the events, they actually did one 27th of May around Nürburgring 24 Hour. I didn't know that was an event going on, and I missed that one. But I'm sort of glad that I missed that one because I do not do well around Nürburgring. So fair enough that I missed that one. Well, I was not too disheartened that I missed that one. However, today though we do have Sardegna Track C. In the GR4 cars, so I'm going to enter that and start doing some practice for it, and then later on tonight when the actual races go ahead, and then I'll record those and do some post commentary for that. Brands Hatch Indy Circuit is another one coming up. I think that's going to be a good one for me because I do like Brands Hatch. Probably will skip Monza. Maybe I'll skip Daytona, I'm not sure about these, and Suzuka I might do. Suzuka I'm probably more likely to do over these two courses because they're both heavily power circuits. Whereas I think the car I'm going to be going for is a bit more centered to handling. So yeah, when I was thinking about entering with, yeah, that's fine. When I was thinking about entering with the which manufacturer, I did initially think to go with Nissan here, because I bought a Skyline and I bought the Sylvia, I think it's called S15. The touring car versions of those. I tried them out. They're pretty good, but I don't know, I couldn't quite go fast enough with them. I think I need more practice with them. I didn't do too many laps with them. But they are really cool cars. I love the flame spitting animation, or, cool thing that it does there. So I was thinking about going with Nissan, but I think I am going to have to go with Mercedes AMG. And I think that they did get a buff a couple of updates ago. However, there hasn't been any more manufacturers' cups since then. I am aware that AMG isn't the best. I saw lots of people choosing Toyota. Some people have chosen Subaru. I saw some Mitsubishis, I mean, not Lancers. That's one of their makes. Saw someone in a Ford. Who else have I seen? Saw some of the Genesis, I think, actually. A couple of McLarens. But yeah, we're going with AMG. I know their car. This doesn't matter because, of course, I bought my own cars. I have the both of these that they're allowing me to choose. Sign contract. There we go. So we're going to be with AMG here. Like I said, I did think about Nissan, but as like just an alternative option. But in the end, I've chosen AMG, Mercedes AMG, because I think that they are the better car. The car I know more, and we can't play no games here when we're going up against some better drivers, and this will be harder for me because there is drive rating B now rather than C, D, and E, which I had to compete with. So the lobbies will get harder. may not be as many wins. As you can see, the first race is at 7 UK time for me, so that is another 5.5 hours away. So plenty of time for me to practice. I have done some practice laps in the SLS, the GR4 car, but yeah, I'm gonna cut to that first race then, and post commentary me take it away. Well, thank you, past me, but here we go then. Time for qualifying, and that was just me checking if I had softs on, and so I'm plugging their Twitch in chat and saying cool. So yeah, check out his Twitch if you want. I don't know, I don't care. Nonetheless, so here we go. It is time for qualifying, and I only got one very good run, and that was at the start, my opening lap. I was able to get out first on track before everyone else. So I'll run you through my lap. I do want to say thank you to Key25. He did a track guide, and I've been practicing on both the racing softs and the racing hards. And he also regularly does live streams as well, so that was how I was able to get the lines down. So thank you, Key. You're really helping out me and many others. But braking just before the 100 board, then that's what I've been taught so far. I'm trying to get on the power as early as possible. Don't touch those curbs if you can. You want to brake just about after the 50 board. Make sure you're still in 4th gear. Pick up the throttle as quickly as you dare. Stick left, then go, or right to left, then back to the right. Avoid the curb there. Try and get the curb here, and then let off the gas, and then brake around here, and then pick up the throttle as quickly as you can, and that is the lap. So that last corner particularly, it's hard to get right, as well as actually the second main braking zone in this track is pretty hard too. It took me some time, but clearly it was good enough for me to get provisional pole position, and it was definitely something which helped me in the race, and it was a weakness that or weakness to others. But here we go then. This was the last lap, and as you can see, I couldn't really improve. So yeah, stuck in P4 here. It's the final lap. I was slightly up on this lap. This was the last one, of course. But I couldn't put together a better lap. And to be fair, the lap that I didn't qualify for, yeah, you can see it improved by 0.007. So not good enough for pole. However, it was good enough to sustain P4, which I think is pretty good, since this is my first time in B-rated lobbies, really. Of course, I did do it at Monza, though you didn't see that one because the recording got deleted. But making sure we put the racing hards on, and here is the opening. What a performance. I was almost ready to join her. Anyway, this was the Gran Turismo World Series round number 2, round Sardegna. and this is the real thing. No more test seasons. They've decided to start us off, and in pole is a Genesis. We've got a Subaru up ahead, another Subaru, so three four-wheel drive cars ahead of us, and you had me, you had a Chevy, you had an Audi, the lovely Carlsberg livery, you got a Toyota Supra, you got another Subaru, and another Subaru, and another Subaru. So you can kind of see, you know, the clear pattern here of which was the dominant car around this track. Could have something to do with Subaru, but nonetheless, rounding us out was a BMW, a Alfa Romeo, and lastly another Subaru. So here we go then, 20 laps of Sardegna Road Course C, I believe it's called. About 56 seconds a lap or so, 57, depends how fast you are. I'm starting on the racing hard, so there won't be any pit stops for me, and probably the majority of people with, because of course these lobbies are, you know, not to be rude, but the people are smarter than some of those lower down lobbies, and the hard tyre will take you right to the end with no problems. But here we go then. So one thing I noticed quite early on is the glare. I did upgrade to the Gran Turismo PS5 version, so that could be why there was so much glare coming off the car windows. I don't think that was a thing which you could have in on PS4, so it did take me off a bit, or by surprise. I wasn't quite prepared to be blinded, but nonetheless still able to make turn 1 fairly well, and well, the main aim right now is just to try and move forward and see how many positions we can gain here. So there's that advantage which I have. You could clearly see I came from quite a fair distance, and I was able to get a much better turn. I don't even know what turn number it was, but the last corner I was able to take a lot better. You can see here, just watch the time that I gain braking where I brake, you know, is 0.2, and then of course the Subaru gets a better exit. Of course, four-wheel drive means, you know, more tyres going at the same time, and therefore a better exit. On to lap 4 now though, and we have closed in on the first Subaru ahead, and they're cutting it pretty close, but that's fair enough. They can do that if they like. I'm gonna have a look at a move on the inside on the last corner. Just let him know that I'm there. He doesn't quite see me. That's fine. Just making sure that he knows that I'm here, and we are starting to drop the Chevy. But of course, the longer you fight, the longer the race distance will be, because of course you're not taking the optimal line, and therefore cars behind can catch up. So need to be wary of which fights I go for and which ones I don't go for, and make sure that I make a move when I need to. This is the inside now of my car, so yeah, I love this camera actually. I just wish it would use my actual driver tile, but nonetheless, Subaru ahead hits the wall here, so we've got a run, and we are past the Subaru there, so pretty easy move. He sort of invited me in by hitting the wall and slowing himself down, and he actually goes a bit wide there on the exit of that corner, so perhaps still a bit shaken from his collision with the barrier, but I mean, that's one more position for me up into third on lap 6, so I'd just be happy moving forward positions, or you know, even if I end up in the same position that I started with, it's still good experience, and 4th place will still give me some decent points. So we'll have to see though. We'll have to see where my ambition leads me. But this was what it looked like from his perspective, looking back on the chase camera. So yeah, it sort of just doesn't turn really, and then very nearly hits me as he regains back on the track. Of course, there's not as lot of traction there on that. I don't even know what you call it. I think it was another part of the track which wasn't in use for this section, and there was the evidence of him going a little bit too wide on the start-finish straight here. Lap 7 though, and lap 6 has set me a personal best. We're gaining time on the Subaru in front. Yellow flags ahead, and that is because of the leader actually, who has made quite a big gap already. So incredibly fast compared to the rest of us, it would seem. And well, we're trying to catch up with this green Subaru ahead here. We do have a bit of a run, because we did take that corner just before a bit better. So could we look for a move into this braking zone? Not quite. He goes a bit defensive, and I don't want to force a move out of nowhere. So yeah, want to make sure that we make some clean moves here, and that if there is a move which is on, then I'll go for it. But that would have been a bit desperate, a bit risky, not even half distance in the race. But poor exit out of that corner, poor entry really, and that has invited the yellow Subaru back onto the attack here, and goes down the inside, pushes me out a bit. Now, some people may have been a bit frustrated. I thought, I'll get him a bit later on. You can decide for yourself here. This was the inside camera. So yeah, I'll admit I didn't make that corner particularly well, which did invite him in. Closed in a bit, but left just enough space, a little bit of a tap. And then I could kind of guess that he was going to go down the inside. And so I sort of just let the move stick. Perhaps wasn't the cleanest move that you could have done, but it wasn't horrendous. It didn't spin me out. There's been worse, but yeah, this was the chase cam shot, and yeah, brakes late, pushes me a little bit out wide, and gets smooth there. So I was a bit like, oh come on, you could have left me a bit more space. But it sort of feels similar to Cops at Silverstone. If you go for a move there, it feels a little bit like that, where it's possible, but it's pretty risky, and it requires the guy on the outside to be a bit more compliant than perhaps you usually would on certain corners. Nonetheless though, we now are back in P4 where we started, and still have the yellow Subaru ahead, and closing in on half distance of the race. So could use something special here, and well, that wasn't particularly the best line I've ever taken, and a bit of a mishap ahead here does give me the run. I look to go down the inside here, but the outside for the next corner, and then I get delighted by a bit of a bump from the Chevy here, out of nowhere really, but nonetheless I'm still here. I could still make a move into turn 1. I do look for it. I do have a bit of a slipstream. By the way, that's something which doesn't happen in quali anymore. There's no longer slipstream, but I do back out of that move in turn 1. I'm aware turn 1 isn't my best corner. It's probably the weakest corner that I have on the track, but the last corner in the corner ahead I can get well and do it pretty consistently. Unfortunately though, these guys do not get it well, and that has left both of them vulnerable to me. So can we make a move into this last corner then? The Chevy certainly thinks so. He looks to go down the inside, sort of similar to what I did, but he's slow. Bit of contact made, and the Subaru spins and takes out the Chevy. I narrowly avoid being taken out myself. And wow, okay, that was quite unexpected there. We'll dissect this criminal case here, this absolute murder from the Subaru on the Chevy. This was the lap before, actually. This was what invited me into perhaps a potential move as he hits the barrier there. So a similar thing to how I overtook him before, and then yeah, there wasn't particularly an abundance of space, and then get pushed a little bit out wide by the Chevy. Still no bad blood though. I don't think it's worth having a fight over, hence why I didn't send it into turn 1. But this was the perspective of the Chevy here, so I mean, I didn't get the best of runs, and I obviously was a bit slowed down by this Subaru, and it did leave a gap and he went for it. I wasn't quite expecting him to be there, which is why I slightly turned in on him. But you know, luckily this isn't a Formula 1 car which is made of glue and shatters as soon as you hit someone. These are very robust cars, so you know, live to fight another day. Didn't decide to go down into turn 1, that would just have been a foolish move, and did the better thing, which was to wait. This was the real juice, the real action though, and you can see, you know, the Subaru goes a bit wide out here, doesn't take that corner very well, and that does invite myself and the Chevy into a good position here. You can see this Chevy goes down the inside, a bit of contact, drifts him out wide, and then it's almost like a power slide, and the Subaru hits straight into the Chevy and causes both of them to be knocked away. I want you to focus on the braking here of the Subaru. That's the red bar here. He's broken way too late, and that's why he went wide, as well as also applying the power a bit too heavy, and that was what allowed me and the Chevy to make the move of. So you know, he was blindsided. If he was using the cockpit cam, he wouldn't have seen him, and that power slide there just shows that. So I think it's a bit of a racing incident. You know, it depends what camera the person in front was using. He may not have seen him, and the Chevy, I mean, wrong place, wrong time, and there's no grip on that side of the track, and that just led the Subaru to just knock him on the edge, and that was what let the other Subaru of our fellow Biggles here into 4th position. So you know, well done on him, you know, for Queen and Country, because of course the Jubilee is upon us. So we've got some bank holidays, or we did. That was Thursday and Friday, though I have finished college, and so every day is a bank holiday for me until September, which does mean I am going to try and make some more videos. But back to the race at hand here. We do have our fellow Brit, as there was a yellow flag for the car further behind, and that was P15, so I won't gain position from that, unfortunately. But Biggles does have a look at a bit of a scrap with me, so try and keep my nose in here for the I'm going to call it the cops corner, because that's what it's most closely like. About half the lap there we were side by side, so you know, got to commend the racing from Biggles. And then into this last corner I do go a bit defensive. Chevy does look, if you look on the mini map, the Chevy did have a little bit of a look on Biggles here, but decides against it So, you know, that was fair enough. That was the smart move from the Chevy. And now into turn 1, I do go a bit defensive because I am thinking, you know, is Biggles going to make another move? Is the Chevy going to make another move? The Chevy's just right there, right behind Biggles, so you could make a move if you wanted to. Biggles is right on my backside there, very close. But nonetheless, he doesn't go for anything into Cop's corner. And now on to lap 15 here. We've got Biggles back again. Is he going to make another move into turn 1? I hope that he didn't, but he has made the lunge. So I give him space, let him through. Slight bit of contact as he goes back through, but I don't really have any bad blood against him for it. Yeah, he is ahead here. Doesn't take the best of Cop's corner though, so has given me a bit of a run, but the Chevy's also got a bit of a run on me too, so could be a bit of danger here if the Chevy does persist. But something unexplainable happens and Biggles goes straight on. Yeah, I don't really know what happened here. I don't know if his controller disconnected or something, but I mean, we'll have a bit of a post-mortem here and see what caused his death. So here he was making the lunge, fair enough, a good lunge on me, going into turn 1 here. And then, well, I stick behind, keep my nose clean, and get a decent run because he doesn't make Cop's corner as well as I did, and did leave him a bit vulnerable to me. But then into this last corner, he just goes straight on. I don't really know. Have a look at his braking again. You can see he applies the brakes a little bit and then applies them too late, and he's into the barrier. So I don't know. Maybe Mum called him for dinner and he got a bit distracted or something. I don't know. I just don't know. It's really odd. This was the Chevy's perspective. Yeah, he just goes straight on and has a bit of a half spin for the cherry on top. But yeah, unfortunate for him, really. I don't really know what to say. That was just so weird. He just went straight on into the barrier. But I mean, it's one less car, I guess, to overtake. And the Chevy is stuck with me here. So fair enough, up into P3. That is one more position than what we started in. So I guess that's a good thing. We do have P2 too far ahead, so that's a bit unfortunate. He's over almost 5 seconds, so there's not really anything that I can do to catch him. So I think I'm going to be a bit more on the defensive here from Sir John, the Italian in the Chevy. But you know, the gap sort of changes, as you can see through these laps here. At some points getting further away from him, some points he gets closer, but halfway through the penultimate lap here, lap 19, and I've completely broken away from Sir John. I've also caught up quite a fair amount to the person in P2, so I don't know if these blue flagged cars were perhaps causing him some issues. Perhaps he wasn't quite what's the word, concentrated, which led him to being slower. But I mean, this is the final lap, so I really doubt that I'm going to be able to catch up here and convincingly from P1 though. He's 15 seconds ahead, so blistering pace shown by him. And here we go through the ghosted blue flagged cars. So, you know, I lapped people in this race. It was an eventful race, much better than my last one, which I had around Monza, though you didn't see that one because it got lost while I was transferring my capture gallery data to the PS5. But I mean, it wasn't a great race, it was only P8. Yeah, here we go. So we've actually finished in P2 here, and it's because our person in P1, or was P1, unfortunately forgot that there's a requirement to be on the racing hards, and he did not follow this, so he got a minute penalty, which is a shame, and it does also tell us why he had such blistering pace. So that did mean that I did get up into P2, and had I been able to catch the car in front, that would have been for the win. So a little bit more frustrating now that I know that. And he didn't know, I didn't know. I just knew that this was a good strategy, thanks to Key. He was I watched his live stream, but as you can see, there was a racing hard requirement, and everyone chats telling him, and yeah, hard luck for the man here. But we come away with 88 points, and I give him the unlucky message, because, you know, he probably did have a good pace. He brings out the "I am stupid," and someone comedically says "Leclerc moment," which of course is a reference to the Azerbaijan problem that he had. But that will conclude for today's video then. A good race. Here's the thumbnail, by the way, that I took. I know it's around Monza, but they didn't have one, because of course this is a fictional track, so you can't take a photo of a fictional track, unfortunately, of course. But if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to go and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you like all my content. I am aiming to make more content, particularly in Gran Turismo, and particularly on F1, as well as the new F1 22. When that does indeed come out, you can expect some videos from me there as well, hopefully soon to its release. But till then, this has been Chief Dog 74, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye till then. Yeah, have a good one.